Hi everyone, welcome back. Today I wanted to just sit and play with some new makeup with you. I have some things that I've purchased over the last few weeks that have just not made it in a YouTube video yet that I figured we could try. Just a bunch of random things. I have like a NARS face palette, I have a Prada eyeshadow quad, some other things from MAC, and oh, I do have the Creal concealer as well. And then I also just got this in the mail, so I figured we could try it. This is the new Jane Iredale Skintuition liquid foundation, and I just got these, so I figured we could test this out today. And that's just kind of what I was in the mood for, so that is today's video. If you're new here, my name is Blair. I do all kinds of beauty content here on my channel. I would love for you to stick around and subscribe if you haven't already. Let's go ahead and get into the makeup. All right, I did want to apply one skincare product real quickly that I purchased on the last day of the Sephora sale. I know I mentioned in a video I always place a last minute order the very, very last day, usually like close to midnight when the sale is over. I will place one more order, and this was one of the things that I bought. I have already tried this though, so this is not the first time I'm using this, and this is so nice. I'm so happy that I finally bought this. This is by the brand Dieux, and it's their Instant Angel Lipid Rich Facial Moisturizer. It's fragrance free, but this, oh my gosh, if you have dry skin, which if you are new to my channel, I am currently 36 weeks pregnant and my skin is pretty dry right now. Typically it's more on the normal side. Ever since being pregnant, it's become much more dry. And this is so nice for dryness. Like, it's so, I was gonna say thick. It's not really thick though. It is a cream, but it's kind of a more lightweight feeling cream, but it still feels really, really emollient and hydrating on the skin without feeling super heavy. It kind of reminds me of the, what is the other cream? The Embryolisse cream in the white tube. It's in a similar tube to this, it's just bigger. That's what this reminds me of, except I do find this one to be a little bit more hydrating than the Embryolisse personally. But if you're looking for a good moisturizer for under makeup and you have dry skin, this one is very, very good. All right, let's move into the foundation. So like I said, I just got the new Jane Iredale Skintuition in the mail. So this is what it looks like. They sent me 3 shades. They all look like they might be a little bit dark, but we'll see. Hopefully we can make it work. This is the cutest PR box ever. It's supposed to look like a new iPhone. I was gonna see if I could get it out to show you, but it's so cute. Anyway, that'll take too long, but it's really, really cute. Oh, here's the back of it, but it's supposed to look like, you know, the iPhone boxes when you get one. So cute. And then it comes with this little thing that looks like an iPhone on the inside. It's just talking about how to find like your color, and it's the Tinter app instead of Tinder. I think that's super cute. Let's pull these out. So this is SPF 30. It's a zinc-based sunscreen. So this is a mineral SPF, which is good. They sent me shade 26, 28, and 30. And ironically, let me hold them up here. Maybe it's just the way, maybe not. I was gonna say shade 30, which is this one, looks a little bit lighter than shade 26. And shade 30 is supposed to be a light medium shade. 26 and 28 are supposed to be light shades. But let's just swatch these. So this is a buildable medium coverage, and it's supposed to have a radiant finish. And I believe it's supposed to be really hydrating. It has hyaluronic acid in it, botanical oils, superfood complex, and hyaluronic acid. All right, so on the website it says 26 is light with cool pink undertones. 28 is light with neutral undertones, and 30 is light medium with warm peachy undertones is what the description says on the website. I feel like none of them are like a perfect match for me, just like on their own. So I almost wonder if I should mix 26 and 28 together, because usually I like to go neutral, but that looks pretty warm to me to be neutral. Okay, I think I'm gonna just take a chance here and I'm gonna do shade 30, even though it's supposed to be the darkest one of these three. I don't know, I just feel like the undertone looks the best on this one. And I think I'm definitely gonna use a concealer that's lighter than me, or lighter than this, so hopefully that will help if it's a little bit dark. I did have some self-tan on, and I think there's definitely still some on my neck, so that may help us out. It feels really nice. It's very thin, but I like the texture of it. It feels super, super hydrating. Okay, and I am gonna blend with a 106 from BK Beauty. Yeah, I like the texture of this a lot. It's very, very hydrating. And it does look like it has a glow, but not like extreme glow. Okay, I'm just kind of grabbing what's left on the back of my hand and adding it. And this was just one pump of the product. So that's one pump applied on my skin. Now that I've applied it and it's been on my skin for a minute, it looks more like a natural finish to me. I wouldn't call it like super radiant or anything. It definitely has a little bit of glow, like you can see there, but it's a very natural, like skin looking glow, which that's my favorite kind of foundation finish. The shade I think is okay. It'd definitely be a little bit dark and a little bit warm if I didn't have like any of the self-tan on, but I do, like I said, I have a little bit left over, so it's okay. I don't know that the color is perfect though. I might next time try mixing 26 and 28 like I said earlier, but very pretty. I think right now I would say this is like a lighter medium coverage. I wouldn't say this is like a traditional medium. I mean, it definitely gives some coverage, but you can see a lot of my skin peeking through still. So let's try adding a little bit more, because like I said, that was just one pump on my face. This time I'm just gonna get the product like built up in the brush. And that was like just one little dollop of the foundation. That was barely any. And I'm just gonna see if it adds anything to the coverage, but we are gonna go in with concealer anyway, so it doesn't really matter. All right, so I do think that added a little bit of coverage, not a ton, but I do think it added a little bit. It looks more like a traditional medium coverage foundation to me now. Really pretty though, sitting really, really nicely on my skin. And like I said, it does have a little bit of a glow to it, you can probably see, but it's not like an oily looking glow, and it's sitting nicely on my skin. It doesn't look like it's emphasizing anything, and my skin is definitely not in its greatest state now. As I said, I'm 36 weeks pregnant, so my skin is not skinning at the moment, but that's okay. But honestly, this looks really good over it, so I'm very happy with that. Let's go ahead and move into concealer. Now, we're finally gonna try this. I keep hearing over and over how this is the newest, greatest concealer. This is the Creal Face Flex Concealer and Complexion Enhancer. This has hyaluronic acid, caffeine, aloe, and green tea. Now, this is a very expensive concealer. I believe this is $58, which that is expensive for a concealer. And y'all know me, I love my Natasha Denona concealer. So this is gonna have to do a lot to really impress me. I got shade number 1. The shade range is pretty minimal. So, you know, it's a smaller brand and it's a newer brand. So I'm not really shocked by that, but just so you know, the shade range is kind of minimal. This is the lightest shade, and I think based on other people's reviews and just what I've seen online, I think the shades run a little bit dark. So I went with shade number 1, which is right there. Looks a little bit light right there, but like I said, I have a little bit of that self-tan on still, so we'll see. I believe, let's see here. It's a high coverage brightening concealer. This is a silky, buildable, skincare infused formula that floats over the skin and flexes with your every laugh and furrow without ever creasing or fading. So this whole brand is kind of marketed for women over 40. I am not over 40, I am 32, but you know, I'm all for, I don't care what they market it at. I'm gonna try it. If everyone's saying this is the greatest new concealer, I'm gonna try it because I love concealers. So let's do it. So I'm gonna go in with this. Ooh, okay, so it's very liquidy. Like it's not a thick texture, it's much more thin, fluid feeling formula. So, all right, we're gonna start with that. I'm gonna let it kind of sit for a minute before we blend it out. So while I do that, if you were wondering, the color corrector that is currently saving my life, because we got lots going on my skin right now, is this one, the Kosas in Illusion. This is just saving my life right now. All that melasma under my eyes, gone because of this stuff. So if you're wondering, that's what I was using. Okay, let's blend this concealer. I'm gonna use, of course, my trusty little N14, BK Beauty and Nikki. And let's see what the hype is about. I feel like all of a sudden this concealer just kind of exploded because I think it's been on Sephora for a little while, but it seems like over the last like month or so, I just started seeing it everywhere and everyone's trying it and talking about how great it is. So I had to try it. Yeah, so it's a very, very liquidy formula, blends super, super easily. Color, I would say, is fine actually now that it's blended out. Looks very nice, very hydrating under the eyes, not drying whatsoever. And the coverage looks pretty good. Now, I do have a color corrector on underneath, so just keep that in mind. I don't ever apply concealer without it, so I would always have something like this underneath. But the coverage still looks to be pretty good to me. Have y'all tried this concealer? I know several of you have told me that you have and you'd love it, but I'm curious what your thoughts are. Very nice packaging. Also, this is heavy, like frosted glass. So it's very nice. I mean, as it should be for this price. I think she has a few other products as well. I know there's a cream bronzer also that I've seen quite a bit about from her. I have not tried anything else, so this is the only product that I've seen or that I've tried personally. And I think I saw on Sephora she recently released like a cream highlighter. I think there's 3 of them. They're in little like compacts. And then I think she has a lip product, and I think she has a tinted SPF maybe. So let me know if you've tried anything else from this line. Yeah, I mean, looks really nice under my eyes right now. Very, very nice. Very smooth, very hydrated. This side that we applied first, there's like a tiny little bit of creasing right there, which I'm not shocked by because it's such a thin kind of fluid formula. That's kind of typical for that. But other than that, I mean, it looks really nice. It looks fine in terms of the shade as well. I'm glad I didn't go up a shade. I think the next one was supposed to be like a warmer shade. And then shade 3 is light with neutral undertones, but based on this, I feel like that might be too dark for me. If you have it in light neutral number 3, let me know. But I do feel like that'd probably be a little bit dark for me. Okay, I'm gonna take a little bit in the center of the face. I'm gonna go a little bit under where we would place bronzer and blush. This is a trick I like to do if my face is a little bit dark and I'm trying to lighten it a little bit. I'll take the lighter concealer and kind of do the reverse contour trick with it. That's a good tip because you can blend it down so your jaw doesn't look as dark. If you have trouble with that, like your foundation's not matching your neck, it's a little deep, take a lighter concealer and put it like underneath where you would put a blush or a bronzer, and then kind of blend it down, and it will usually kind of even out the color. I'm going to use my same 106 foundation brush and blend out the rest of the concealer. I would definitely say, in terms of comparing it to Natasha Denona, the texture of it kind of reminds me of Natasha Denona. I do think this one, I would say, is a little bit more hydrating than Natasha Denona, just based on my first impression of it. But obviously I need to wear it and see how it wears and all those things. But I do think just the overall texture of it is kind of similar to that one. Yeah, it does. It does look really nice. I was hoping I was not gonna like this because of the price. But I gotta say, y'all, it looks really freaking smooth under my eyes. Like really, really good. Good coverage. Looks good on the face where we applied it. Yeah, it does. It looks really good so far. But, you know, we gotta see how it wears. But my first impression is I'm pretty impressed so far. Let's go ahead and move into bronzer and blush. So I said, or I don't know if I said it actually in the intro, I did get this Hot Escape Cheek Palette from NARS. Why? Because I had an Ulta 20% off coupon that was expiring, and we cannot let that happen. You know what I mean? So that was one of the things that I ordered. But before that, I have so many new things. I'm trying to figure out how I want to do this. I also have the Armani Luminous Silk Cheek Tint. This is new. These are, the cheek tints are not new, but these new shimmer colors are new. And I have one of them in 50S, which is kind of a peachy pink color. So they originally had these in same packaging and everything, but they are matte, and then they just released these shimmer ones. So I have one of those as well, but I'm trying to decide if I want to do both. I guess we will. Okay, so this is the shade 50S, which is Starlit Peach. But these look like they're pretty sheer to me. So that is Starlit Peach. Yeah, so you can see, like, once I blend it out, it's pretty sheer. I think we're pretty safe probably to put a powder blush over the top of this, but I do really like the color. I'm gonna do what I don't typically do, which is go directly on the face. But I think this formula feels like it should be okay. I'm gonna use this Jane Iredale cheek brush and tap that in. Okay, yeah, so it's very, very sheer. Pretty though. I can't compare to the original ones in the same packaging, but the matte ones, because I never tried that formula, but I do really like the color of that. Really pretty, very, very subtle though. So if you like something that's, you know, like a blush look, probably not gonna get that from these. Very watery feeling on the skin too, but very sheer. I think this is also a formula you could definitely safely apply to your face and then blend it out. You know, I don't typically do that. I don't typically recommend doing that with most products, but I think with this one, it's okay. Am I like blown away by it? No. It's almost like a tinted highlighter, but it's definitely not that, because they also have these in the Luminous Silk highlighters. So it's definitely not a highlighter. It does say it's a cheek tint, so that makes kind of sense now. Okay, so this is a tint. It's not like a full-on blush, liquid blush. And I would totally agree, it's definitely a tint. So if you want a lot of color, that one's probably not going to be for you. Let's do the NARS palette, but I'm going to set my face just a little bit before we do that. Okay, I'm going to use the powder I have in my everyday makeup right now, which is the Amicole. I really, really like this powder. I knew I liked it, but since I've been using it pretty much daily, because it's in my drawer, I really, really have discovered how much I love it. Okay, and I'm just gonna lightly apply this all over. This is a brush that's discontinued, unfortunately, this Sephora 55. I really, really love it too, but they discontinued it a while ago. But I like this Amicole powder because, well, number one, the packaging is amazing. There's a net there, and it has this little protective shield thing. But it's a really, really nice, smoothing, mattifying powder, but it does not look heavy at all on the skin. It's very, very soft and just nice. Very, very highly underrated product from Sephora. Now let's move into the NARS palette. So this is the Hot Escape Cheek Palette, number 1. So I believe there are 4 of these. This is the light one. There's a medium, a tan, and a deep, I believe. But happy to see 4 different face palettes. I love that they did that. A lot of brands don't do that, especially with face palettes. But this is the lightest one. And like I said, did I need this? No, absolutely not. I bought it because I had the 20% off. And I was in an Ulta a few weeks ago and I saw this. And I swatched it, and the powders in here are really, really nice. It almost feels like a little bit of an updated powder formula from NARS. I'm not sure if it is, but it kind of feels like it is. Y'all know, those Ulta coupons, the 20% ones, they get me. They get me every time. Laguna 01. I think this is Ophelia is what it looks like. It's a highlighter. Thrill, which is one of their permanent blushes, and then Bad Behavior is this kind of pink blush topper up here. So I believe these two, the shimmery ones, are exclusive to the palette, but the bronzer and the blush you can buy individually, I think, from the brand. All right, let's go in with the bronzer. So we're gonna go in with this one, and I think I'm gonna use the 107 from BK Beauty because this has been my favorite powder bronzer brush as of recently. And I'm gonna kind of get it in there and then tap it off on the palm of my hand, just because I've used NARS powders before, but not in a long time. Oh, that's pretty. Pretty, pretty. I was just thinking, I do have the NARS cream bronzer in Laguna 01, and that one is really, really nice. I think this one is definitely a little bit warmer in the powder than it is in the cream though. So I'm just getting it again on the palm of my hand and kind of tapping it off so I don't get too much. But yeah, the powder version of Laguna 01, at least this one in this palette, is definitely warmer than the cream version. Now let's do a little bit of the blush. I'm trying to decide if I want to mix them or if I just want to do the matte blush. Let's just do Thrill first. So Thrill, very pigmented. It's like that Barbie doll pink. I want to say this is one of the colors that they discontinued for a while. And then people loved it and kind of complained that they had discontinued it, so they brought it back. And I'm just using the 107 again from BK Beauty. very pigmented, so you don't need a lot of this at all. Pretty pink though. And of course, don't forget, if you go a little bit overboard with your blush, which I do it all the time, just take a foundation brush or a sponge, whatever you have, a powder brush, and just kind of tap around the edges, and that will usually kind of diffuse it. All right, now let's do a little bit of the highlighter. Maybe we'll mix them. I'll take a little bit of both because why not? And I'm using an FO3 from Sigma to apply these. Haven't used this brush in a while. Who remembers when this was like my favorite brush? I still like it. I just haven't been using it as often, but it's really nice, especially for either highlighter or concealer is what I used to use it for. I also have the new Sigma eyeshadow palette that I think I'm going to do a separate video on because it's like a larger palette and I want to do like multiple looks with it, I think. So I have another small palette we're going to use today, but the new Sigma Spectrum palette, oh my gosh, it's so pretty. It's full of neutrals and it is absolutely beautiful. So that will be coming soon. Okay, I'm looking back at the concealer now. And you know what? It looks really good still. It actually looks like it's kind of set itself down because I didn't really bring a ton of my powder up here, but it definitely has more of a set finish to it than it did like 15 minutes ago. But it still looks really nice under my eyes. I'm trying to decide if I want to use any powder with it. I've been using this Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder this month. So maybe we will set it with a little bit of that. I guess we will, just out of curiosity. I'm going to use a different N14 brush and I'm just going to kind of lightly tap over that concealer. I'm being really light-handed because I do have that color corrector on under there and, you know, my melasma under there. So I do have to be really careful in that area right now. All right, I'm going to fill in my brows and I'll be back and we'll move into something that I've been dying to try for the eyes, and it's this little Prada quad. So I'm gonna do my brows and then I'll be back. I filled in my brows and I did just apply a little bit of my MAC paint pot to my eyes in the shade Painterly. Now let's move into this. I did buy this. I was waiting for this to come back in stock because I wanted to use my Rouge reward at Sephora on this. So this is one of the new Prada Dimensions Multi-Effect Eyeshadow Palettes. So they recently released 3 new color stories and they're all more neutral shades because Prada, when they launched originally, all the palettes have a lot of bright colors in them. And this was the first time they released 3 new kind of neutral ones. And of course, you know I wanted the most light neutral one, which is this. So this is number 7 in the shade Peony. And this one has been out of stock quite a bit on Sephora. So I kind of had to stalk the website or the app to get this in stock because I knew I wanted to spend my Rouge reward on it. So I cannot wait to test this. I haven't swatched it or anything, but I'll give you some swatches real quickly. I have tried the Prada eyeshadow formula before. About a year ago or so, I did an Instagram little campaign thing with Prada Beauty and they sent me one of the quads for that. I'll show you that one in a minute, but it is such a beautiful, luxurious eyeshadow formula. So there are the swatches. So you can see, yes, they are very light, very soft, but that's what I like. I love a good boring neutral eyeshadow palette. I live for it. I love it. There are never enough neutral palettes in my opinion, because that's what I love, that's what I use, and that's what gets me excited. So is this, you know, a super boring looking palette? Yeah, but it's boring in the very best way. Like, I know I will use these colors. So we're gonna try this, but this is the one I have. I'm not sure what the name of this one is because it doesn't look like it's on the back of this palette, but it's the one with the really hot pink in it. These three are really nice neutrals. It's just this pink right here, not something I use ever really, but it does have three really pretty neutrals in it. But this one I did not buy. This was sent to me. This new one I did buy, but I used a Rouge reward. Let's go into the palette. So I'm gonna start with this middle shade. This is like a really beautiful taupe. It's definitely a taupe. It has like almost a little bit of like an olivey look to it. It's really, really pretty. So that's it right there. But that's the shade I'm gonna start out with. And if you've never tried the Prada eyeshadow formula, it kind of reminds me of the YSL quads, if you're familiar with those. It's a very creamy feeling formula. Like, look, like that color alone right there, like just by itself, gets me so excited. I know, I'm boring, I can't help it. But like, it's palettes like this that just, it just excites me. I know y'all know what I mean. So I'm using this shade with the Rephr 15 brush, and I'm just putting this in the crease. But yeah, this formula is very, very, very creamy feeling when you swatch it. And they're actually pretty pigmented eyeshadows. Now, this quad is very light, so this is not gonna show up as a super pigmented, but depending on what color story you get, the Prada eyeshadows are actually pretty pigmented, but they're also really easy to work with because of that creamy kind of texture. They're very, very user-friendly, in my opinion. I mean, that color, I could even bring that like all the way on my lid, and that would be such a pretty like one and done. Okay, I'm gonna take this color right here. So this is like a warmer, kind of like a rosy color, I guess, like a light rosy brown. But I'm switching brushes to the Rephr 13, which is just a smaller little blending brush. And I'm gonna apply that in the outer corner. What's crazy about like a quad like this is, yes, it looks like so basic and boring, but like things like this are what I want to spend my money on, you know, because these are things that I know that I will pull out and use. So I know some people look at number 7. In fact, I've seen some reviews saying that it's boring, it's too light, like all these things, but I think that's what's beautiful about it, is how like subtle it is. All right, I'm gonna take the light shade now. This is a Rephr Shoto 00. I think these may be discontinued from Rephr, but it's like a really wispy kind of flat shader brush. And I'm gonna put this kind of on the lid here. So basically where we haven't applied anything yet. And then the last color in here is the one that has a little bit of sparkle in it. So it's this pink. And I think I'm gonna use my finger with this one and just gonna tap a little bit of that right in the center of the lid. And again, it's very soft, very subtle, but I love that. I love that kind of shadow. I'm gonna take the number 15 brush we used first, and I'm just gonna go on the lower lash line with that. Rouge Reward, well spent on this one. And then I'm gonna take the 13 that we used with that outer corner shade. And I didn't get any additional product. I'm just adding a little bit more of that to the outer half of the lower lash line. And that's really gonna be it for the eyes, but what a pretty soft neutral palette. If you are around my skin tone and you like these kinds of tones, very soft, everyday, wearable. shadows. Peony, number 7, I'm super happy with it. I do have a new eyeliner, I just remembered. So we're gonna try this too. This is from Urban Decay. I saw, who did I see using this? I think it might have been Alexa Chan, maybe? I think Alexa Chan I saw using this. Somebody I follow, I'm pretty sure it was her. I've been watching so many of her videos lately. If you like content using what you have, like if you like MAC makeup and you don't follow her, definitely go do that because you will love her content. But I'm pretty sure it was her I saw using this. This is one of the Urban Decay pencils, the new ones, in the shade Tootsie, which is so cute. But it's a really soft, kind of like a gray toned brown. So that's it right there. And I just love the color. I thought it was very unique and different. So I think I might do a little bit of liner with this. Yeah, I just loved how soft this color is. Because sometimes, you know, if you have a lighter skin tone and you want a little bit of an eyeliner, but you don't want to look like you have like eyeliner on, you know what I mean? You want like a softer look, but you still want that definition that you get from an eyeliner. This color I thought would be really good for that because it's brown, but it's like a softer gray brown. So I'm kind of applying it in the waterline, and then I applied it as close as I can to the upper lash line, and I kind of just went halfway into my eye. I'm just going to use a 204 brush from BK Beauty. This is a little smudger brush, and I'm just going to go over it. I didn't add any product to this. I just am using it to kind of diffuse the liner a little bit and pull it out just slightly. Oh my gosh, that's so nice. Do you know what I mean though? It gives you that definition, but it doesn't look as harsh as some eyeliners can, you know? Especially if you're a lighter skin tone. But like, yeah, that's exactly what I was wanting. This was exactly what I needed today. I woke up today, I had a doctor's appointment first thing this morning, like a baby appointment, because now I've reached the point in pregnancy where I go every week. And so I got up early today for that appointment. And then when I came home, I was just, I don't know, I was just craving sitting down and chatting with you guys and filming and just playing with some makeup because I've been so like preoccupied lately with the pregnancy and just, you know, I think I've definitely entered the nesting stage where I'm just trying to get things done, and I've been trying to get the nursery ready and wash all the baby clothes and do all the things, get my hospital bag ready, all those things. But literally nothing brings me joy the way sitting down filming these videos does. I don't ever want to stop doing it. I'm definitely gonna have to take a little bit of a break when I have the baby and just, you know, figure out what it's gonna look like when my life is very different. But I will be back, I promise you. I know my uploads have been much more sporadic over the past few weeks, months, but just know that I will be back. You just have to figure out what that looks like. But anyway, my point being, this was exactly what I needed mentally today, and I feel just so good after sitting down and just playing with makeup because it really is my happy place. I just realized I have so many eye products that I need to show you, but I can only show you so many things. I have the new Urban Decay liquid shadows as well. Those were sent to me in PR, so I could get those out and use one. But I also have this that I bought from MAC. This is one of the new eyeshadow sticks in Subliminal Spark. And it's basically like a taupey shimmer shadow, but look how pretty the color is. Look at that. Subliminal Spark from MAC that I kind of want to apply. So let's do that. We're just playing. I have nowhere to go or anything to do. I just kind of wanted to play. So I just kind of put that in the center of the lid. I think it would be so pretty, like applied opaquely, like all over. But since we already have these other shadows on, we won't do that. But it is a really pretty neutral shadow. They just released a bunch of these new Dazzle sticks from MAC, and this one is Subliminal Spark. Really pretty. I'm gonna curl my lashes, and then I actually have a new eyeshadow, or not eyeshadow, I have a new mascara primer to try that was also part of my Ulta order when I had that 20% off coupon. One of the products that I ordered was this lash primer because I got a comment on one of my videos. I think I had mentioned a lash primer in it, and they were saying that this was like their holy grail lash primer from Lancome. This is the Cils Booster XL lash primer. And I haven't tried a ton of lash primers. I've tried a few here and there. I've been kind of testing out the MAC one. So it's just kind of a straight across wand that looks like this. But I've been testing the MAC one this month. I have it in my everyday makeup drawer. And the more I use that stuff, the more I think it actually does make a difference. It's almost like I had to give it a little bit of time to, I don't know, like dry out or something. Because now I've been using it quite a bit, and I think it actually does like make a difference. Because I felt like in the beginning the MAC one was a little bit dry. Like I just wasn't getting much product. Like I kind of feel the same way about this one right now. Like I'm not seeing much of the primer come off, but that's definitely how it was with the MAC one, and I just had to give it like a week or two. Now I'm going to use a mascara that I have open, and we're going to do an experiment. So this is one of the ones I've been testing with the MAC lash primer, the L'Oreal Paradise Big Deal, because typically I have issues with smudging with this mascara, and I was curious if I used it with a primer, if that would eliminate the smudge issue, and it has. I haven't had any smudging since I started using it with the lash primer, so we're gonna try it with a different lash primer because I love the way this mascara looks when you apply it. But when I use it on its own, it smudges on me every time. Definitely add some volume for sure. I feel like maybe I'm gonna turn into a lash primer person all of a sudden. Let's do the other eye. Let me know if you have tried this Lancome one, or if you have another lash primer that you like. I feel like I used to like one from Essence a long time ago. I need to buy that one again because I remember really, really loving it. It was in like a white tube with an orange lid. All right, I feel like the primer is kind of coming off more on this eye. Now we'll do the mascara over here. Finally, for the lips, I have some new lip liners from Sochi Beauty. These were sent to me in PR, but I've used these a few times already actually, and they are very nice, especially this one in Skinny Dip. Really, really nice color, kind of like a cooler brown, like a taupier brown. So that is Skinny Dip right there. And the formula of these is really nice too. They're wooden pencils, but they're pretty creamy for a wooden pencil, but they are very long wearing. I have been testing these probably about a week now. And I also have this one. This one is much more pink, but it's in Desert Rose, which is on the top there. I actually like to kind of mix them when I've been wearing them. So let's start with Skinny Dip, which is the more brown color. It kind of reminds me of deep taupe from Anastasia, which I love. Then I'm gonna take Desert Rose, and I'm gonna kind of go over it and shade in the lip a little bit with this. Really, really pretty. I like those two a lot together. And then the other thing that I have, and several of you have asked me about this, and I did order the Westman lipstick, the Lip Suede in the new Mimi color. And I have worn it a few times. It is very, very nude. And it's a beautiful color, but I do find on my lips, I need it with a deeper lip liner. I can't really wear this on its own. It's a little too light for me. My lips are a little too pigmented for it. But that is Mimi right there. It's a beautiful neutral lipstick. For me, in my skin tone, my lip color and everything, I do like it paired with a darker lip liner. And I actually just saw Westman, they released even more shades of these with their new lip liners, which I have not purchased yet, but I do plan to buy some of those because I love lip liner. And I love this formula from Westman. If you don't have one of these and you love lipstick, they're so nice and luxurious. I mean, the packaging alone I love, but the formula is matte. But it's like the creamiest, most hydrating feeling matte lipstick you've ever used, really. It's so nice. Mimi is beautiful though. It's very, very light and very nude. So on my lips, I need to pair it with a lip liner for sure. But now let's do a little bit of gloss as well. I did also order this with the NARS face palette. This is one of the Afterglow lip oils in Laguna. So it's like a bronzy lip oil. Oh, yeah, that's pretty. I don't think I've ever tried the lip oils from NARS. That's a nice neutral one though. All right, let's chat about the things that we tried today. Starting with this, we won't spend too much time on, but this, like I said, if you have dry skin and you need a good moisturizer before makeup, or even if you're not applying makeup, this is incredibly nice on the skin. Not heavy feeling, but still really leaves your skin feeling hydrated. And every makeup product I have paired it with over the top has worn really well. So this from Dieux, I love. I'm really happy that I bought that. The Jane Iredale Foundation. Okay. Shade, not a perfect shade. I will have to play around with the ones that I have and maybe mix some. I don't know. I can definitely make shade 30 work. It's a little bit dark, but you know, with concealer and everything, I can typically make stuff like that work. But this foundation is really, really pretty on the skin. Very pretty. Now, it does have some glow. It is hydrating, but definitely, I think, leans primarily a natural finish. On me, at least. Now, I have drier skin type right now, so depending on your skin, that might change. Depending on how you prep your skin, all of those things obviously make a difference. But this foundation looks beautiful. Smooth, not heavy at all, not emphasizing anything. Pretty solid medium coverage if you apply, I would say between 1 to 2 pumps, but it looks really good on my skin. So I'm excited to see how this wears. I think that one has potential for sure, but I'll let you know. I'm gonna wear it and I'll probably put wear notes in the description box, but if you're looking for a new foundation, medium coverage, natural finish, this might be a good one. Oh gosh, the Sarah Creal Concealer. Okay, I really wanted to tell you that, yeah, this isn't worth the money. This is overhyped. I'm not in love with it. And I can't tell you that it's my new favorite because obviously I just tried it. But I have to say, it looked beautiful under my eyes before I set it. And it still looks really good under my eyes after setting with that Laura Mercier powder. I gotta say, I like it a lot more than I was hoping that I would. Now, it's expensive. It's a lot of coverage. I still love Natasha Denona, obviously, and it's like $20 less than this. Actually, it's about half the price of this. So like I said, I have to keep testing it and let you know, but I like it more than I was hoping that I would. It looks really nice. I have no complaints about it so far. Other than the shade range, they need more shades, 100%. But you know, it's a new, smaller brand, so that's kind of to be expected starting out. But it does look good. I'm sorry, I hate to say it. But what else do we try? Okay, the Armani Cheek Tint. This is just okay to me. I don't think these are anything to write home about. I don't think you need to rush out and get this. It's just okay. It's very sheer, like you saw. You get very little color from it, which depending on what you're wanting, that might be a good thing. But you know, it's not anything where I tried it and I think, oh my gosh, I have to like go get another shade, or I can't wait to use it again. Do you know what I mean? I think it's just okay. I think you could probably skip this and you will be just fine. The NARS palette. Okay, like I said, did I need this? Absolutely not. But something about it spoke to me, and I am a sucker for a face palette. I can't really explain that. I've always loved face palettes, and I still do to this day. And this one got me. The packaging, the colors in here, and the formula on these powders is very, very, very nice. Very creamy. It definitely feels like an updated NARS powder formula to me. And I love that they made 4 different colorways in this as well. So this, if you're looking for a face palette, I think this one from NARS is a good one. I would recommend it. I guess everything else was like eye and lip. The Prada palette in Peony. Like I said earlier, is it very basic? Yes. Is the color story very neutral, very boring to some? Yes. But do I regret this? Absolutely not. This is something I will use. This palette is so luxurious and beautiful. The packaging, everything, the colors, like I know for a fact I will continue using this. Which, if you're gonna spend this kind of money on a palette, now I did use a reward for mine, but I spent a lot of money to get that reward, so it's not like it was free. I know I'll use it. I know I will. Like this color right here, that perfect one and done shade. And I don't know, this just made me happy. I'm glad I saved my points up for it. No regrets at all. If you're a deeper skin tone, shade 8 and 9, if you're looking for neutrals, those are incredibly beautiful, just a little bit dark for me, but no regrets on that at all. And the Urban Decay eyeliner, again, very happy with this. So happy with this shade in Tootsie. And the Urban Decay liners, they're great. They've been around a long time. They're waterproof. They really do set down and stay, but they're pretty creamy to start out with. So you do have some time to kind of play around with them. But I love this shade in Tootsie if you want a brown, but you want something that's a little bit softer. I really like this one from Urban Decay. The lash primer, I'll have to let you know. I feel like this is something I have to really keep testing with different things. I do think it worked well today with that L'Oreal mascara. I'll be interested to see if that mascara does not smudge with this lash primer either. Because like I said, that's been my experience with the MAC one. Whenever I use that, I don't have an issue with smudging with the L'Oreal mascara. But I'm going to keep using this and I'll let you know. And then let's see the lip products. These Sochi liners, like I said, I've been using these for probably about a week and a half. And these are very nice, very creamy. You know, they're a lip liner. Everybody's making lip liners now. But these are really nice, very long wearing. And I really like both colors, especially Skinny Dip from Sochi. I haven't tried much else from them, but very impressed with the lip liners. Mimi, beautiful color. Like I said, just it's very light nude on me. Like my lips have more of a rosy kind of mauve-y undertone. So if I pair this with no lip liner, it makes my lips look a little bit like dead almost. But if you pair it with a lip liner and then a gloss on top, I love it that way. It's just the color is very muted for me and my lip color. So keep that in mind. But the formula, y'all have heard me talk about these Western lipsticks many times. I do think they're worth the money. I think it's one of the most luxe, beautiful, luxurious lipsticks on the market. Oh, the NARS gloss. This is just, you know, a lip oil. What can I say? It's pretty. It's like a nude, bronzy color. Nothing to write home about, but it's nice if you were looking for something like that. Oh, and we did put the MAC Subliminal Spark on top of the Prada. This is nice as well. I want to keep using this though. I want to use this and use it like very opaque all over the lid so I can really see the wear and the color and everything. I just kind of used it really lightly as a topper, but really pretty neutral color. All right, I think that is everything that we tried today. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me, chatting with me. Like I said earlier, I was just in the mood to do this today, and it's just good for my soul, good for my spirit right now. A little bit of a distraction from everything, pregnancy and all the things, which are all good things and all exciting things, but sometimes I just need to sit and just do what I love, which is sit and film and play and talk to you guys. So I hope you enjoyed it. All the products that I used, I will always list in the description box, and I will link them in YouTube shopping for you. If you do click any of my links and make a purchase, I do make a commission that supports me and my channel. So thank you so much for that. And if you're new, I would love for you to subscribe and follow me over on Instagram at simply.blair and TikTok simply.blair1. And I will see you again very soon. Remember, simply be you.